Hey guys, so today I thought I would record just a very quick video for those of you who are fairly newish investors and are feeling a bit panicked by the state of the stock market right now. So yeah, I wasn't going to actually record anything today, but I thought, I'm just going to record this, quickly edit it and pop it up because I just want to encourage those of you who may think, why did I get started investing? This is the worst mistake. Now, if you are panicked because you need that money that you've invested, then that's a whole different ball game, because really you should only be investing money that you don't need to live. So if that's what you're doing, then it's probably time to reevaluate. But if you're panicking over money that you don't actually need but that you have invested, then this video will hopefully give you a bit of encouragement. Myself, I also have a bloodbath right now in some of my stocks. So I get the feeling, I get that it's not the best feeling to see, everything go down so much. But if you understand the nature of the stock market, then you'll quickly just realize that this is a part of the process. If it doesn't go down and it's always going up, it doesn't really make sense. There has to be some corrections along the way. There has to be dips and increases and dips and increases. But if it's a long-term goal that you have, then these little blips in the road really shouldn't matter. So for instance, this week, as soon as I got paid, I made quite a big lump sum-ish payment into my investments because I wanted to take advantage of the sell that we currently have in the stock market. So even though I'm seeing everything go down, that is a good thing for me as an investor, because I get to get some of these stocks at what I think is a discounted price. And, I say I think because we can't time the market. Nobody knows what is the lowest of the low or the highest of the high. We assume it's low right now, but it could go even lower. But my point is, instead of just panicking when I'm seeing my stocks go down, I'm still continuing doing what I would always do. And this is because I have an investing strategy. So it sounds fancier than what it is. It just means that every month I know where my money is going in terms of investments. So in my Vanguard videos, you'll see I talk about how I weight my investments. 50% is going here, 10% is going there, 10% is going there. So I know exactly where my money is going every single month. As soon as I get paid, one of the first things that I do is put money into investments. So I have everything set up, whether the market is up or down, whether it's left or right, it doesn't matter. I have a strategy in place. And one of the really cool and important things about having a strategy is that I don't get swayed by what's in the news or what's happening in the stock market. I know what I'm doing regardless. And that's kind of how it should be with investing. As you may already know, they say the best investors are those who are already in the grave, because they don't get to toy around with their investments based on their emotions. So if you are somebody who doesn't have a strategy, some kind of investing strategy, it doesn't have to be complicated, but I would highly recommend that you have an idea of what you're investing in every month. Maybe how much you plan to invest every month and where you're investing, because that will help you keep on track no matter what is going on in the stock market. Now, the other thing I want to show you is what I used to do when I used to get panicky about all of this. I would zoom out. So sometimes when we zoom in and we zoom into our investments, we are not really seeing the bigger picture. We're seeing what happens today or this week or this month or even the past year. But one thing that has been really helpful to me in the past is zooming out to really help to see the bigger picture. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So as you can see here, we are on the Vanguard website. So I'm in my Vanguard account, and VWRL, if you don't know, is something that I invest in. It's a global ETF. And we can see here that if we look over the past 6 months, you can see the green dots where I have invested, but we can also see the blue line, which shows you basically what's been happening with this fund, the price of each unit of this fund. So you can see here, so we're looking over the past 6 months from August until January, what's happened with the graph, and it looks a bit, looks a bit crazy. But let's now look over the past year to see what's happened. So if we look over the past year, then we can see that actually, it does look a bit crazy, but we can see that over the past year, it definitely has gone up. Even though we're having this dip right now in the market, it's still higher than it was a year ago. But if we look in the past 3 years, then we even get a bigger picture to see what has happened. So in the past 3 years, it's definitely higher than it was back then. But we can also see that there was a real dip in the market back in 2020, I think March or April 2020, when COVID happened. Yeah, and that gives us a bit more of a picture. But if we even pull out even further and we look over the past 5 years, then we can see that this current dip that we're having, even though it is a dip and even though the stock market has taken a downturn, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really look that crazy, does it? If we had been investing for those past 5 years, our investments would still be doing better currently than they were 5 years ago. So again, this is just a really helpful task for you to kind of get out of that immediate bubble that we're in and we think, oh, this has happened in the past week, month, 6 months, and really look at what's happened over the past 5 years. And this is when you start to realize that investing really is a long-term game. It's doing it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years so that you can benefit from this upward trajectory over time. And I'm going to show you one more fund just for a bit of fun. So if we look at the S&P 500 VUSA, ticker symbol VUSA, we can see that over the past year it has increased, but we can see that there's definitely a dip currently going on right now. If we look over the past 3 years, then we start to see that this dip looks a bit smaller, especially in comparison to what happened back in March 2020. And if we look over the past 5 years, we can see that the S&P 500, this particular fund, has definitely gone up in the past 5 years, because back then it was back in January 2017, it was around £34.51 per unit of this fund, whereas now it's around £61.65. So this video is truly short and sweet and to the point, but I thought I would just quickly record this video and hopefully encourage those of you who are a bit panicked, find a strategy and stick to it no matter what is going on. Obviously there's different stuff going on in the world right now, and we don't know what's going to happen with the stock market for months to come. But regardless of that, if you just keep the right mindset that you are only investing what you can afford to live without, that you're going to stick to your strategy every month, whatever that strategy is, and you're not going to get swayed by what people are saying, by the hype Instagram, TikTok, YouTube posts that you see, and you're not going to get swayed by the news. You're just going to continue and you're going to do what the greats have done for many, many years. So do let me know below in the comments if this has been helpful for you, and don't forget to like, and if you're not subscribed, then please do subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video real soon.